Study, reflect, and listen to the Lord. Let Him direct your steps. That's how you treasure each day. Today, Lewis Clark is going to talk to us about the feast. And of course, the main entree is the turkey. So listen to all of his great tips. So watch this. Hello and welcome to Nation Station. I am Kimber Nation and this is
Lewis Clark.
We are going to talk to you today about some things you can do to help prepare for guests coming over, maybe for the holidays that are all coming up. Whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, the New Year. We know that it's a busy, busy time, and we want to share it with you from our expert cook here.
Expert. Well, I appreciate that. As you can tell, yes, I am an expert. One of the things that we're going to focus on today is the preparation of turkey. We think back to the Pilgrims, and they probably had some kind of a big stone oven that they may have baked it in, or whatever it was, but that is the traditional form that we think of. But over the years, there have become a number of variations from your traditional baked turkey, your traditional baked stuffed turkey, and now some people have even ventured into the microwaved turkey.
Really? Now, I could probably do that.
It requires one of the bigger microwaves, one of the higher powered microwaves, and they vary the powers, and it cuts down the cook time.
Wow.
Another new idea is the smoked turkey, and one of the most new innovations, of course, is the deep fried turkey, and I would have to dare say one of the most dangerous attempts.
Well, that's probably true, but it is delicious.
Oh, yes, no doubt about that. So along with those different ways to prepare, as far as cooking your turkey, there are also a couple of different things that you can do in preparation to prepare the turkey for being cooked. Most of us acquire our turkeys frozen from the supermarket, and we have to allow time for them to thaw. Some people will use a 5-gallon bucket, go out to Walmart, any of your hardware stores will have one of those. You can sanitize those out at home and prepare that for the turkey to go in. One of the easiest things is just a simple salt brine, where you use sea salt, and your stove, you'll get a pan, and you want to use a lot of that, because you've got to think you want to create a high concentration. So you will put your pan on the stove. Before you heat it, you will add the salt. And you will add that salt gradually and continue to stir it in. And as long as the salt continues to dissolve, you want to add a little more. It's when those crystals kind of start to linger around in that whirlpool at the bottom that the water has gone past brackish and now has a high salinity, where the water and the salt, that's it.
Okay.
So then you want to bring that to a boil to bind the salt molecules to the water molecules. Okay. And then once you've got your bucket, put your turkey in there, and you can do this at the thawing process. You'll top it off with water where your turkey is covered, and you'll add that salt, that salinity mix in there. As that turkey thaws out, that exchange of the fluids from the exterior to the interior are going to continue to push. That salt is also going to push any lingering blood out of the tissue, any of those veins that are in the breast area, so you won't have any kind of dark spots from veins as that cooks. And that's also going to just push a little bit of the flavor in. But the other things that we can do are what are called brines and injections. Injections, you've got a kit that you buy, and there's a number of products out there. You can also make your own. You can use a blender and puree stuff down. They use pretty big needles. And you can inject that into the breast meat, the thigh meat, the leg, and the wing. you want to definitely use a butter blend so that it stays in there. It doesn't run out. If you use loose oils like olive oil or vegetable oil, peanut oil, it's just going to run out. That butter, you're going to be able to close that wound around that to where it's not going to leak out.
That makes sense.
So the brine it's a little more complicated because you're going to build a flavor profile that is to your liking. If you're into Cajun, if you're wanting something spicy, you might go as far as to get some peppers that you're going to boil into your brine, onions, minced garlic, anything that's fresh that you can put into this boiling pot, and it goes to the same theory of the regular salt brine.
Okay.
You are causing any of the seasonings that you put into that water, you're causing them to expand out into that fluid. Just like as they cook, they steadily go into your meats and your vegetables. It will go into that fluid, and then you will once again add that to the turkey as it's thawing, or if you've got a couple of days and you've got refrigeration to hold a turkey that size, that also works well. So then of course you've got the stuffing. Everyone loves the stuffing. And the original concept of a stuffed turkey was to try to preserve the juice in the turkey, because you've got that open cavity there, and so that heat is penetrating through the breast both ways. If you're stuffing that with turkey through, the heat has to penetrate evenly. And one last thing that I do want to recommend that everyone do this. A lot of the turkeys are sold with the little pop-up thermometers. If you're deep frying, you may not be able to use that. If you're smoking, you may not be able to use that, or it may not function exactly properly. Get you a high-quality meat thermometer, whether it's just one you stick in there. On eBay, Amazon, they've got digital ones that you just stick the probe in there and you carry a device around with you, and it'll tell you when it hits the temperature. And be sure that you are at least at 165 or above at the thickest part of the breast meat. Anything below that, I would personally consider dangerous. So that's basically covering the turkey.
Right.
And that information, you can use that, of course, on Thanksgiving.
Right.
You might want to do that during the Christmas holidays.
Right.
And then if you have a meal during the New Year bubble of events, so the turkey goes a long way through these next 2 months.
And I love leftover turkey too.
Yeah,
coming up with some different.
There's so much you can do with it. So,
well, if you try it, please let us know. We'd love to see how it turns out.
Let us know about anything that you're preparing, and then also there's off the beaten path. Are you doing something that's not traditional that your family does every year? That's a tradition for your family. Share that stuff as well. Maybe someone else will start a tradition that you started.
That's right. That's right. It's always nice to take from the old, but also add your own new little flair too.
Right. And I think that is part of the holidays. We throw that around a lot, but we want to be specific. We are talking about Thanksgiving. We're talking about the Christmas season, the celebration of Christ's birth, and then also the New Year's Eve, the New Year, that renewal, that chance to start anew, to set new goals, New Year's resolutions. I always thought to myself, New Year's resolutions were kind of set up for failure, because there's no backside to it.
Yeah.
You're just throwing it out there. You pick and choose who you tell.
Right. But for me, I've learned that I'm not the only one that's a procrastinator.
Oh.
And so it kind of turns that calendar around where, okay, now's the time. You know, if I
Right.
haven't done it yet, this
Right.
is a chance to restart. Forget what you have maybe failed at or got started and didn't keep up with it, but it's a chance to, okay, I'm going to start today. You know,
Right.
it's just a new day, and you can really have a New Year's resolution. Doesn't have to be called that anytime.
Anytime.
Every day is a new day. And here is part 2 of Feast or Famine, and check out these other episodes.